Welcome to My Hometown, the program that explores clubs, organizations, businesses, and issues across Nassau and Suffolk counties and sheds light on the different towns that are making a difference.
A great day to you and welcome to a special edition of My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm your host, Bill Horan, along with Nassau Community College student Zach Turkel. Patrick J. Ryder was named Commissioner of the Nassau County Police Department by County Executive Laura Horan in February 2018. He recently completed his 34th year in law enforcement, serving the last 32 years with the Nassau County Police Department. He began his law enforcement career with the New York City Police Department in 1984 in the 79th Precinct. He joined the NCPD in 1986. Commissioner Ryder has a master's degree in Homeland Security and Management from Long Island University at the Riverhead campus, and he is also an adjunct professor of criminal justice and intelligence-led policing here at Nassau Community College, and also taught at Dowling College until 2015. He and his wife, Jill, have been married for 28 years and have 3 children, Liam, Sean, and Megan. Welcome to the show, Commissioner Ryder.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Now, we're here today, the main focus to talk about School Safety Forum that's going to be held at Hofstra University coming up. So I think that's on September 25th. Is that correct?
That's correct. It'll be September 25th. It's the first time we've ever held a School Safety Forum. It's going to be in the David Mack Center over in Hofstra College. It'll be at 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. It's a 2-hour event. It's first come, first serve. With the seating there is about 3,000 to 4,000, and we believe we're going to pack the house.
So that's for lay people, parents. It's not just for police or law enforcement.
No,
people.
it's mostly for the parents, the community, and you'll see in there our new Nassau County Police Foundation donated $5,000. So there's $200 gift certificates that are going to be raffled off for school supplies for students that come. And these issues, such as active shooter, opiates, cyberbullying, we're seeing it's younger and younger into our society. So anybody between 6th grade and a college student has opportunity to win some of those gift cards.
Now, Commissioner, before we get further into that, tell us about what the police commissioner does on a day-to-day basis. What's your day like?
My day starts off at a routine workout in the morning. Then I come to work. I'm in the office about 8:15, unless I'm teaching my Tuesday, Thursday morning class here at Nassau, and that starts at 7 a.m. So I get to the office. My day starts with a briefing every day. I get an intelligence briefing. I get a crime briefing. I speak to my chiefs about what's going on, what's occurred in the last 24 hours. Then we start to see what we're doing going forward, what the day is scheduled for. So there's meetings. There's obviously meet and greets with a lot of different people from different agencies that come by. I spend a lot of time with our cops. I like to walk around the building. I like to get out into the field and see what the cops are doing, understand and keep in touch with the reality side of our policing. And then, of course, there's many after hours where we're going to town hall meetings, opiate, an Operation Natalie, as we call it, and getting out there. And I walk back in the door about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
Do you get to see your family?
My kids are in college, so
Okay.
I'm lucky there. And my wife likes to say that she shares me with Nassau County right
and
now.
probably on the cell phone she sees you more than any
That's
other
correct.
place.
Do you have time to eat, Commissioner Ryder?
We do have time to eat.
Okay, that's good, because it sounds like it's a jam-packed day. It's a lot of work. Well, anyways, Commissioner Ryder, Bill has mentioned some of the things that you've done in the intro, but I want you to elaborate a little bit more. What positions have you held before this title of Commissioner?
So I started out as a cop in 1984 in the Bedford-Stuyvesant precinct in the 7-9. Crack was king at the time, and it was a very violent time in our history. Crime was way up in both the city and Nassau County at that time. I moved out here in 86. I started in Newcastle, Westbury, one of the communities in Nassau County that has really had a resurgence and turned around. It's back then in 86, it was crime-ridden, a lot of crack issues and crack houses. It's turned around. It's a business front right now. It's really, crime is way down in the community. And again, from there I went to a BSO. I was a SWAT guy. I did that for 9 years, and then I made sergeant, patrol sergeant, detective sergeant, and then I found myself in a place called asset forfeiture. And back in 2000, when I went to asset forfeiture, it was about seizing money from the bad guy and using it to help fight crime. Just shortly after that was 9/11. And as we just passed the 17th anniversary yesterday, I remember exactly where I was when the towers were being struck. And 24 hours later, I found myself down on the pile like everybody else, serving with some of the best men and women I've ever served with in this country, taking piece by piece off those piles to get and try to recover our loved ones and our lost brothers and sisters. So after that, we built the Intel Center in Nassau County, working with the New York, New Jersey Ryder. And we now, at time, we staffed it with 2 people. We now staff it with close to 60 people that do financial intelligence, criminal intelligence, counterterrorism intelligence, and we have a think tank that also works to solve problems in Nassau County.
I'm smiling and laughing because if anybody who works under you says, oh, you don't understand my aspect of the job or what I do, you've been there, you've done just about everything. You probably swept the floors on the way out or got the sandwiches.
Not only do we sweep the floors, I do the gardening in the headquarters just in the last couple of weeks.
So he really knows everything. Now, unfortunately, by the nature of your job, what's the biggest issue facing the police work in Nassau County now?
Right now, our biggest issue is opiates. And if you add the second part to that, it becomes school safety. And they kind of tie in together, right? Our kids are our foundation. They're our most precious commodity. They're our future. And we find that the opiate use in schools is getting younger and younger. We also find that kids are vaping more. So there's something that starts the road into heroin. You don't just wake up one day and start taking heroin. And many times it's alcohol. Many times it's these kids that are vaping. I think it's 40 to 50% of kids in school today are vaping.
40 to 50%?
Yeah,
that's correct.
It's a lot. I see a ton of people actually walking across campus. A ton of people today. I saw a ton of people vaping.
And a lot of times that's innocent enough. You know, It's that steam that could cause a thing called popcorn lung. But a lot of times they're vaping what's called THC. THC is an oil that is taken from the marijuana plant, and they put it into that pipe. You can't smell it like we used to smell marijuana. You can't detect it. And a kid can walk around smoking or vaping marijuana, and we don't even know it.
Oh, my gosh. Your job just keeps getting harder and harder, doesn't it?
Correct.
Now, we hear that there's a new connection coming with Nassau Community College. Can you tell us about that?
We are proud to partner with our friends here at Nassau Community College on building our first ever in the history of this police department. Over 90 years, we've never had a police academy. We've partnered with the college. They've given us some property over by the Meadowbrook, where the turnpike comes in, behind the Coliseum area, that open ground. We're going to build a 90,000 square foot academy. We're going to allow the usage of that academy by the college, and many of our police officers are instructors here, or professors here at the college. So it's going to be a great partnership, especially with the criminal justice, but not only with the criminal justice. We'll have a 500-seat auditorium, a huge 2-story, what we call a tactical warehouse, which will have movable walls and partitions that can set up to look like a main street in Nassau County, or it can look like a housing area in the back streets in a development. So it'll allow us to role play in real time and make our policing better.
It's just amazing what you're telling us. To our audience, we'd like to let you know that you're listening to a special edition of My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm your host, Bill Horan, along with Nassau Community College student Zach Turkel. And our special guest today is Police Commissioner Patrick Ryder. Zach, did you have a question?
I definitely do. Let's talk about the upcoming school safety forum. You mentioned that a little bit early on in the program. What's it all about? Could you give us some more detail, or maybe inform our listeners that just tuned in about it?
Absolutely. So the biggest concern, if I go into any town hall meeting right now, is school shootings, school shootings, school shootings. It's happened many times around the country. We look at on data, and if you do the numbers, from Columbine up to and including Parkland, there was over 200 kids killed in school shootings. There's 50 million kids that attend public schools in this country. They attend school 180 days a year. The odds of your child being shot in a public school is about 1 in 614 million. The number's very, very, very low. But I can't tell that to a mother in Parkland. I can't tell that to a mother in Columbine. I can't tell that to a mother in Sandy Hook. So we have to prepare. And one of the things that we've done proactively here in Nassau County is to go out and teach and train our schools. We've trained with our superintendents. We've trained with all 450 principals in the buildings in Nassau. We're working with the Catholic school system right now, and we're also working with the private schools and yeshivas. We're advancing ahead to make sure that people are prepared. God forbid that 1 in 614 million situation happens. And I'll give you an example. So, in the last 50 years, no one in the United States has ever died from a school fire. Why? Because we've prepared, we've planned, and we've added technology, if you will. So they do fire drills in schools every single year. They have a plan when the fire bell rings, where you're supposed to go. They have fire suppression, fire retardant walls, fire exit signs, all of that in preparation, God forbid there's a fire. But they don't have a fireman standing there giving you direction. The same thing is with active shooter. We train active shooter now. We've added technology, a thing called the Rave app, which allows us to access data or the call quicker than we would before. We've actually added in now also where we've done the training with them, the education side with them. We've done assessments at their sites on where they should and should not use their security personnel, preparing them almost like we've done. And again, you don't see a cop at every school, but we do enhance our time spent at school by what we call a park, walk, and talk. You visit the school, say hello. You're in and out in 5 minutes, but at least you're familiar on where the door is when you have to respond to that active shooter.
I'm just amazed at how smart. Sometimes you hear things and it can be a little thing, how smart it is, or you even say, how stupid, why do I wait an hour at the doctor's office, etc. But this makes so much sense. Now, since many of us listening may be parents or grandparents or someone helping out, guardians with children, are there any tips that should be given to those of us who are listening?
You have to make sure your school has a plan. If they don't, make sure that your school gets a plan. The Nassau County Police Department has gone to every school district already, all 56 of them, but we've gone to private businesses and everybody. We do the assessments, we'll do the training, because an educated consumer is our best customer, right? And again, our educated consumer, our kids out there are our best customers. So you have to do the plans and you have to do it as real as you can, meaning you're locking the door. You're going opposite of where the window is to see in. You're not going into the hallway. You know where to go if there is an exit for the building that has to be done. The cop knows where he's going. The Rave app gives us the information on where we should be going. All of that put together makes our kids safer. Most active shooters, again, in that same time frame from Columbine up into including Parkland, most of our active shooters are done in 5 minutes. 52% of those are done in 2 minutes. Self-inflicted gunshot wound mostly. They have an intended victim they're going after. So it's all about timing. We need to get there faster. We need to slow the shooter down, and we need to know how to protect ourselves while you're slowing that shooter so we can get there and stop the threat.
Yeah, what I found so interesting, Bill, if I can interject, is that Parkland you've mentioned before, was, I would say, different because the gunman did not shoot himself at the end.
That's correct.
He's still alive today. The Columbine, Sandy Hook, they all self-inflicted, so we'll never know what their instinct was, and it's very unfortunate, you know.
Three of our biggest school shootings in this country, Parkland, Virginia Tech, and Columbine, all had armed guards at the schools. So, and again, it's not, the answer is not armed guards, the answer is prepare. Like I said, there's not a fireman at every school. But the school system in this country in 50 years has not had a child die in a school fire. We prepare, we plan, and we train for it.
I will just say, sitting here with you for 15 minutes, and Zach, I think you're going to share my feelings. I'm glad you're on our side.
Absolutely.
We have Police Commissioner Patrick Ryder with the good guys. So I think that's going to give us a great big edge, and I think any parent hearing you say this will feel a lot better. This is a great time in the show to take a break, and I'd like to let our audience know that I'm Bill Horan, along with Zach Turkel, and our special guest today is Police Commissioner of Nassau County, Patrick Ryder, speaking about the School Safety Forum. You're listening to a special edition of My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Rich
Please, after you.
is just a really, really, really good guy. The term good egg isn't enough to describe him. He's also certified organic and free range. Rich puts the cap back on everything. The toothpaste, the olive oil, the shampoo, everything. He lets his 10-year-old nephew beat him at virtual